Dish, dish, pasa, pasa, dish, dish, pasa, pasa, dish, dish, pasa.
Hello and welcome to Comic Island. My name is Arden, and today we're going to talk about Batman the Enemy Within. So this week I had the good fortune to be able to finish episode 5 of this series, which officially brings the second season of Telltale Games' Batman the Enemy Within to a conclusion. I've been following this game pretty much as each episode's come out since its release, and I've played every Telltale game since Walking Dead Season 1, actually. I'm a big fan of their narrative, interactive storytelling system. I like the idea of me being able to punch in my dialogue choices across a game title and seeing what effect it has on the narrative as a whole. It's a neat idea, although I'll be the first to admit Telltale is very limited in their scope and design. They're a little company, so you kind of have to give them slack, but I always enjoy their games for taking on unique franchises and having a lot of fun with them. One of the best examples of that is in The Walking Dead's, I guess, a good example of that, but the best example I was thinking of was The Wolf Among Us. Everyone likes to talk about how great that game is, and I'm really looking forward to the second season of it. But Batman has been an interesting take on it too. It's a lot like Gotham, where they reimagine the villains in a certain way, and that's a lot of fun. But it shows some interesting colors here and there in its own unique little ways. We have a lot of evidence of this being a very different series in terms of what you can do with the villains, and whether or not a character even becomes a villain, thanks to the notion of Telltale's games being a choice. The adventure-y / dialogue-heavy component of their games made it the perfect candidate for really playing as Bruce Wayne as much as you play as Batman. Though that is a little limited in scope and ambition, they do a good job in that in both of these seasons of Batman. All that being said, the first season of Telltale's Batman really had a lot of problems. It was uneven in terms of quality across the 5 episodes. There were little things here and there, especially in terms of graphical bugs, that bothered me. And it just felt like it had potential, yet didn't quite live up to it. You couldn't die a lot in that game if you screwed up the QuickTime events. It would just sort of pass you along, and that made things a little disappointing in a lot of ways. But I liked being a detective as Batman and actually piecing together crimes. I enjoyed, like I said, playing as Bruce Wayne, and even the Batmobile's cool because it transitions between a fancy Bruce Wayne type sports car to the Batmobile. That's brilliant and a lot of fun, and Telltale's iteration of Batman's full of little things like that. That all brings us to the Enemy Within, and right off the gate that series really showed a lot of polish to it. The graphics were updated. I didn't experience a single graphical bug across all 5 episodes, which is damn impressive and a lot better compared to the first season of Batman in Telltale's world. The other better thing about it is the Joker. Now, this is an overplayed villain, but you are introduced to John Doe in Batman Season 1, and that relationship is basically the central focus point of Season 2. Now, the brilliant thing about this is that if you treat this character like the Joker, he will inevitably become the Joker, and a pretty good take of him at that. But if you give the man a benefit of the doubt, if you treat him as a man who's got deep psychological issues, and you're just trying to treat him like a friend, and be there for him, and to support him, even in spite of his inner demons and issues, he starts to show a very different side entirely, a very fun one, where, and this is a bit of a spoiler, but it's been given away by Telltale's marketing, so I guess they want you to know about this, Joker can become a vigilante, at least for a certain degree. He's not a full-fledged hero like Batman, and I found myself constantly reprimanding the Joker to behave and not be murdering people left and right, but he was a hero. And back to back, me and the Joker stood fighting crime in this latest episode of The Enemy Within. Well, the final episode of Enemy Within. It's a lot of fun. And it had me really excited. Now, that did go in a certain direction. There does have to be a story to it, but that alone made it worth playing. And yes, this is a recommendation to play Batman the Enemy Within if you haven't already. And if you've left the world of Telltale games disappointed before, I would encourage you to check it out. You still have to gauge your expectations. You still have to understand that your choices are only going to go so far. That being said, there's a lot of interesting options and differences along the way in this game, to the extent that I really liked it. The first season of Batman within Telltale's world is not as good, but definitely worth playing just to sort of fully put you in the mindset for the enemy within. But if you don't, it is still definitely worth taking on this new one. There's not much else to add to it other than I just would definitely recommend you check it out. It's a good series, and Telltale could probably use the assistance right now. They are recently the byproduct of a downsizing issue because they really had some issues with management and failing to develop on this basic idea that they first came out with like almost a decade ago now with that first Walking Dead game. A lot's happened between now and then. There's a lot of competition out there, even stuff very directly competing with Telltale, such as the Life is Strange series. So they have to work on this, but The Enemy Within was a good sign that they can. There were some moments in that last episode in terms of graphics that really impressed me. They're way beyond anything we've seen in The Walking Dead or any of Telltale's other games. I really think there's potential in this company, and I hope they can keep this train going. Like I said, Wolf Among Us is getting a second season, and I'm looking forward to it, and that's all I can do now is just hope that they can make more. I know The Walking Dead is kind of winding down, and that's good because it's kind of been on a downward slope for a while. I don't know how many of you are caught up with all of Telltale's various Walking Dead games and episodes, but I don't know if I'd recommend them much beyond Season 1 at this point. Knowing where Season 2 went and the general atmosphere of Season 3, I can't in good conscience really recommend them. So this is a good one. Tales from the Borderlands is a must-play if you haven't already. And the Guardians of the Galaxy game I had a lot of fun with, even if there were some serious limitations to that one. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. I really enjoyed it, and just wanted to make a quick video talking about it. I'm trying out something new here where we're gonna film a bunch of these little news stories, vlog type things back to back so I can have more consistent content while I work on bigger narrative things. So this isn't replacing nothing, this is supplementing stuff because these kind of videos won't take as long as the more elaborate things. It's to try and flesh out the content and balance things a little bit more. And yeah, other than that, thanks for watching. If you like Comic Island, you can check out our Patreon page in the video description below. Otherwise, don't forget to like, subscribe, and keep reading comics.